Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis, a fight nobody saw coming. Two stars from completely different worlds are stepping into the same ring. Both are hungry, both are confident, and the hype is sky high.
It's night and day, right? You have to understand I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that and my body filling out. I just feel amazing. It feels super strong.
Jake Paul has been talking nonstop about his intense training camp for the Tank Davis fight. He says he's bringing top-level talent into camp and even claims to have dropped people during sparring. Jake also revealed that Shocker Stevenson is joining him this week to help him prepare. But here's the twist: Jake actually admitted that Tank is dangerous. That's rare for him. People often call Tank too small for a guy like Jake, but Jake himself disagrees. He says Tank's power is real. He hits like a truck, no matter his height. Jake even said he's scared to step into the ring, and that fear shows how real this fight actually is.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is. It's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure, for sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages
Yeah,
in
90
the
something
entire
percent,
boxing.
right?
Exactly. Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. He's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So
Wow.
just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives, but we're really focusing on speed. Um, and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
What many fans don't know is that Tank has been fighting big men his whole life. From early in his career, he sparred with heavyweights, not just any heavyweights, but skilled ones. Boxing analyst Showbiz revealed that Tank didn't just survive those sessions, he dominated. If Tank can handle real heavyweights in the gym, then Jake Paul's size won't shock him. Jake has come a long way, sure, but Tank has been facing elite fighters since he was a teenager. Experience beats popularity, and according to Showbiz, it's Jake who might be walking into dangerous territory this time.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened? What's the one boy name? No, don't say his name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the level of heavyweight that, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses, and that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick me up. Like, just kind of let them know. No, like, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring. And that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank has made a major decision. He's done fighting at 135 pounds. Too much weight cutting. Too much drain. He's now moving to 140 pounds, where he feels stronger, faster, and more dangerous. He says this is the weight where his power truly explodes. Fans think Jake's natural size gives him the edge, but Tank believes the opposite. He says his body feels perfect at this weight, more stamina, more knockout power. At 135, he was already putting people to sleep. At 140, he plans to destroy. Jake Paul might be the first to feel the full power of this new and improved Tank.
Or had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title. But I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all. But usually even when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at a higher weight classes.
Boxing Insider. Carmelo Martin gave his prediction, and he's all in on Tank. He says Tank's past sparring with heavyweights means Jake's size won't matter at all. Skill beats strength every time. Martin sees Tank as a complete fighter, while Jake is still learning the basics. His prediction: Tank won't just win, he'll win convincingly. Martin knows Tank personally and sees the work he puts in daily. As he puts it, talent beats size. Skills beats strength every time.
Tank versus Jake Paul.
I feel like it's gonna be a good fight, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're gonna see how serious they really take it. But I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so congrats to them.
But if you had it, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, a high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Didn't he kind of be an advantage because he's small and fast? Someone said that. I'm I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly. He gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming. He can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is going to be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's going to give him a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts to, because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, you know, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or like what's going on?
I'm not. I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? Like, what's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. You know, Floyd's gonna do his thing. You know, hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? Like, what's next with you, Kamel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting. You know, staying patient. You know, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.